Welcome back to Mountain Connections. If you are traveling this fall, you might be curious about some of the trends for Airbnbs, whether you're planning to stay in one or you are a host. This is great information from Liz DeBold Fusco. Let's take a look.
As summer winds down and the season begins to change, now is the time to look back at how Americans spent their summer traveling and what they are looking forward to experiencing in the fall. Joining us now to talk travel and hosting trends is the communications lead for North America at Airbnb, Liz DeBold Fusco. Thanks so much for joining us today, Liz.
Thanks so much for having me.
How big of an economic opportunity did the summer of 2021 provide for Airbnb hosts, and how did Americans spend their summer vacations?
Yeah, to kick off the summer, we shared how after a year of isolation, consumers were eager to begin traveling again. And, we saw guests really did hit the road again this summer, seeking quality time with their loved ones. We saw families flocking to remote destinations from big cities. We saw people planning trips near national and state parks. And a few weeks ago, actually, Airbnb reached our biggest night ever in the U.S. with more than 4 million guests staying on Airbnb. And this has created a lot of opportunities for our host community. This past summer, U.S. hosts on Airbnb collectively earned more than $1.3 billion, with some hosting while they were away to pay for their vacation, to some offering one-of-a-kind unique stays like tree houses and yurts. It's actually one of the reasons why we kicked off the season by creating a brand new host onboarding process to make it easier than ever for people to become a host and tap into this economic opportunity both this summer and then looking ahead to fall.
What are the fall travel trends, especially in our region right here in Utah, Park City, Salt Lake?
Yeah, so, summer's winding down, seasons are beginning to change, and we are seeing a couple of big travel trends emerge. So the first one that we're seeing is longer stays. The longer stays trend is in part due to the fact that remote working is continuing into the fall, and that's really freeing guests up to extend their travel beyond just a weekend. Specifically, one thing we're seeing this Labor Day weekend is that a large share of trips are 7 nights or longer. Again, families looking at that extra day off the holiday weekend to have a longer trip and maybe get in one last vacation before the school year starts or work really picks up again. And then the other thing we're seeing is that searches for stays in large and mid-sized cities like Salt Lake are making up about a third of searches each for fall. Again, we talked about how consumers were looking to go to rural destinations this summer. Now, and heading into the fall, they're looking to go back to more urban destinations. And we have about 60% of long-term nights booked this fall are actually in cities.
And what about the return of big events this fall? Will that drive travel?
Yeah, so we know that big events are coming back, and we think guests are pretty eager to attend. So, a number of the top trending destinations for Labor Day weekend and beyond are actually cities that are welcoming back iconic competitions or major music festivals like the Made in America Festival in Philadelphia, Astroworld in Houston, the Ryder Cup in Wisconsin. I'm sure there are some big events coming up here as well that people are looking to attend. And what we're seeing with all of these events is that searches for accommodations in the nearby area are picking up as guests are planning their travel in order to attend. That's great news for local hosts. Obviously, they can earn some income by welcoming in that influx of guests, but it's also really good news for local economies. As people come back into town, spend their money in local restaurants, patronize local shops. It's great, again, for the post-pandemic economic recovery.
And where can we get more information?
Yeah, so if there's a big event coming up near you, or if you think you might be a fall destination, you can go to airbnb.com/host to get started as an Airbnb host.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Liz, for joining us today. It's exciting to hear about the fall travel trends, and looking forward to hopefully traveling more and doing more things as we head into 2022.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me.